I really do believe that your choice of tires actually does say a lot about you. Over the years, I've ran a series of different Nitto tires, including the Ridge Grappler, the Trail Grappler G2, the Recon Grappler most recently, but I've never had the Trail Grapplers until just now. This episode is gonna be my review of the Trail Grappler on my Bronco Raptor. What is up, you guys? Matt McAdam here, AKA Desert Chief, only on Driving Lines Chasing Dust. And this episode is gonna be my review of the Nitto Trail Grappler. I'm not new to this tire. I've been around this tire for a long time. All the King of the Hammers races, EJS and Moab, a lot of my friends have these tires, but I personally have not ran Nitto Trail Grapplers on any of my rigs until very recently. And since then, I've put about 10,000 miles on my Bronco with these tires on there. I've done a whole bunch of trail riding everywhere from the Mojave Desert down all the way to Baja. I put a lot of dirt miles and highway miles on this tire, and I figured it's a good time to give you guys my honest feedback. First off, let's get into some of the specs of this tire here. This is a 37 1250/17 Nitto Trail Grappler wrapped around a KMC KM 446 Mesa wheel, and it's got monster valves on there as well. As you can see, this is a load range D tire, so it's perfect for the Bronco Raptor because it's not as stiff as an E, but it's still plenty strong for the things I want to do with it. We're going to get into that a little bit later. The Trail Grappler in this size and configuration is about 87 pounds. So it's considerably heavier than the stock tires that come on this vehicle, but I'm going to tell you why I don't mind that so much a little bit later on in this video. Now, some of the things I really like about this tire is that it's got a really big, meaty tread pattern design on there, really big tread blocks, big wide voids between those tread blocks, and we're going to get into why that's important a little bit later on. Also, it's got a nice aggressive sidewall, but it's not too busy. It's pretty simple. That's what I like about this sidewall here. And Nitto does give you two sidewall designs on the inside and outside. It's a really simple tire otherwise. There's not a whole lot going on over here. It looks really uniform. I've always really admired them on King of the Hammers Ultra 4 rigs. So I really just like the way that it looks. It's a really nice, sharp looking tire. Probably one of my favorite things about this tire is that it's actually true to size. Unlike most tires out there that claim to be a 37, they're actually sometimes like a 36 or a 36 and a half, and it really isn't a true 37. So I can put a direct replacement 37 Nitto Trail Grappler on this Bronco Raptor and automatically get a little bit of a taller looking tire on there. It actually fills out the wheel well a little bit better, just makes the truck look overall like it's a little bit bigger, but you're not actually going up in size on the printed sidewall. So right out of the gate, I have to say how impressed I am with the Trail Grappler on the road. It's actually a really tame on-road tire, and that's not something you would expect from a mud terrain. I haven't had any noticeable swaying or pulling in any direction. Sometimes you get that kind of pull with mud terrain tires. Haven't really noticed that with the Trail Grappler at all. Now, a lot of people will tell you that mud terrains are no good if you're doing a lot of highway driving because of how loud they can be. But I have to say that for how aggressive the tread pattern on the Trail Grappler is, the road noise is pretty minimal. Nitto did a really good job at designing this tread to be pretty quiet, at least from the start. How it's been for me is actually not very noticeable. I mean, obviously I have a fiberglass roof, so it's loud anyway, and I have an exhaust on this Bronco, so it's not a quiet car by any means. But the tire noise is, like I said, very minimal for a mud terrain. But I do expect them to get louder as the tread wears down. That's just kind of the nature of tires overall. However, with the mileage that I put on this so far, I haven't noticed any difference from when they were brand new to now. Now let's get into the off-road performance of the Trail Grappler. Of course, this is where this tire really shines. I have a lot of variety in the kinds of trails that I take my Bronco on. We have a lot of variety of trails here. I can go do rock crawling up in the mountains. I can just do some forest roads up there. Obviously, we have a really big desert with a lot of variety of trails there, including sand, gravel, whoop sections, all different kinds of terrains that we can drive on around here. And that's really what I like about the Trail Grappler, is that it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife if you do a lot of off-roading. In the loose dirt and the gravel, the Trail Grappler feels very predictable and controlled. With these tires, I can actually drive pretty fast without worrying about losing the trail, but if I do want to get sideways around a corner or break open the tires a little bit, I can do so by applying the right amount of throttle. On the other hand, when they're properly aired down in the rocks, I can feel the tread and the sidewall all molding to the rocks, flexing over everything really nicely and actually helping get up the trail without spinning. I think that has to do with those big tread blocks that are on there and the large voids in between them. It really allows them to bite down on the terrain and propel the vehicle forward. I'm sure that with more dirt miles and more rock trails, I can really be able to push these tires a bit harder and then really see what makes them the top choice for guys that do a whole lot more rock crawling than I do. So overall, I have to say I am very impressed with the Trail Grappler, having now ran it for the first time on my Bronco Raptor. Having already ran the Ridge Grappler, the Recon Grappler, and the Tear Grappler G2, I can see now why the Trail Grappler sits at the top of the Grappler line. Although the Trail Grappler is not the lightest tire by any stretch, I will say that the combination of the large tread blocks, the bigger voids in between them, and a very strong sidewall is what makes this tire such a great option for people who do a lot of variety of different kinds of trails. Now, previously I would tell people that the Ridge Grappler was my favorite tire of all time, and it is an amazing tire for somebody who does a lot of daily driving activities but wants to take their vehicle out there once in a while and do some trails with it. However, if you find yourself off-roading as often as I do, or let's say the trails that you are doing when you're out there are primarily rock crawling focused, I would say that the Trail Grappler is probably the best tire that you can have on your rig. All right, guys, that's gonna do it today for our review of the Trail Grappler. This is a great tire, so if you guys are interested in it, check it out at nittotire.com. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Driving Line. We're making all kinds of great videos. If you're an off-road enthusiast, lots of product reviews on there and a lot of tips and tricks as well. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, my name is Matt McAdam, AKA Desert Chief, only on Driving Line's Chasing Dust. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.